So today, so it's been a while since I've been on here. This is a water dragon female, about 4 or 5 years old, from Mickey from Show Me Reptiles collection. And I didn't steal her; I adopted her. She's just got here this week, so we're gonna work with her a little bit more on handling and so on and so forth. I might bring out my mail that I got from Hawaii. Interesting confiscation. So my name is Daniel Yates. I am a scientist, and so this channel is Learning for My Reptiles, which stands for Learning Science and How to Deal with People for My Reptiles. So one of the things that we're going to end up today talking about is the hognose brain study that a lot of people talked about, and then we're going to talk about Adam Wickens and Research the Reptiles channel stuff, and then we're going to talk about the anti-science movement. And so we're going to need to deal with some stuff here. I have nothing against Adam Wickens or Reptile. Dylan Parrish is a friend of mine, I consider. But yeah, Liam from there. I don't have anything against them. I don't know them all that well. I've interviewed Liam. He's a really good guy. We would get along really well. But see, I'm holding her. I'm barely holding her. This isn't like, oh, you know, you're really doing a terrible job. You can see down here, a year ago, it's got 15 views. I made a video on the studying the medulla in reptiles. So I knew what this paper had already said before I ever read it, because this is part of the hindbrain, the medulla. So I don't want to hear people telling me that I didn't already know what the results of this study would be, because I already made a video on it. Go check it out. It'll be in the link. So don't come at me thinking that I'm just here for clout. No, I'm not here for just clout. I've never been here for clout. Unlike Wickens and a lot of those guys that are on YouTube for clout, and they've been on YouTube for so long, they have the clout. I haven't been. So there's a lot of people going, "Oh, we don't like you. We don't want to trust you, you know, because you don't have the following." No, I'm one of the leading experts in neuroscience of reptiles. But academia is not going to enjoy the way I do my stuff. I don't kill animals for academia. I'm not going to do that. Academia let me down a long time ago. I'm not okay with a lot of the stuff like that. So, and there's going to be lots of academia and people just in general that are going, "You can't do it that way, Daniel. You can't do it that way. You can't do it that way." I already did it. And I was completely right, like usual. When I put that much time and effort into something, I'm not putting it out there on a whim. I'm not putting it out there as, "Oh, well, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just guessing." No. I went through the conclusions, and we figured out that the medulla actually impacts. So if the medulla creeps below the actual cerebellum's hump, like the dip from the cerebellum, then if it dips below that, that animal has increased its tactile nature, is overwhelmed, has been overwhelmed. So therefore, that tactile nature is increasing that medulla so dramatically it's increased the hump, because that's what it does. It grows but yet there's not a lot of space left in the room, so it actually has to dip and come back out. We also see it in flying dragons. We see it in the flying squirrel. So we have to remember, all vertebrates have the same parts of the brain. It's how they use them that creates differently. I will admit, like, the brain of the it's coming soon, but we'll look at it real quick. I'll show you guys this hognose study. So this brain, these right here, the forebrain, This is the OL factory stock. The forebrain on the hognose snakes is similar to that of a viper or a flying snake, which is fascinating. I have another video I'm going to make this year, make soon, and studies of the shape of the forebrain. I'm also going to make a video on, you know, what it's like and tips and so on for walking, doing shows for kids, and actually handling your reptiles for mental stimulation for them, the kids. What's the best practices? What are some safe things to do? What are some non-safe things to do? Things that I did wrong? Yeah, crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. And, you know, I'm going to blow people's mind with the fact that I don't treat my animals the way a lot of people do. A lot of people might conclude that I treat my animals the way, you know, like the cat lady would treat their animals. Well, I don't do it for the same reason. Just like I don't do YouTube and I don't have these animals the same reasons. I got them in 2021, and I got them just because I wanted exotics, pets. I wanted some fish, and I decided to. I know, I saw you go. Come on, you all right? You all right? So I wanted some exotic fish, but I was talking to some bearded dragons. And that's where it started. I did not get into it just to try to make money with ball pythons and stuff like a lot of people do in 2020. No, I didn't get in it for the same reason. I don't stay in it for the same reason. I've been off the channel for a while, and I don't care. Like, it just doesn't bother me that I never got the traction. I still work on brain stuff because I love it. Oh, I get excited about brain stuff. Oh, it excites me. The understanding, seeing this guy get rowdy and taking him to a window to see outside and just see him go, like you could almost hear the audible ah. That is why I do this. I do this for them. I do this for me. I do this for you, but I don't focus on you guys. So we're also going to make a video on if they have imagination and memory and where is that found, because there's scientists out there saying we don't know where memory is found in there. And I'm going, what the hell are you talking about? We know exactly where it's at. What the heck? What? But that's the way academia is. If it's not peer-reviewed by 20 years then you can't do it and it doesn't matter and blah, 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 blah. That's gatekeeping. I've met so many professors that are gatekeepers you can break everybody down to one question. What makes them feel self-important? And the self-importance for a lot of professors and a lot of people in academia is being the smartest in the room. And those are the ones that get rewarded. But guess what happens when you believe, when your self-esteem is tied into being the smartest in the room? Nobody can be smarter. Your students can't end up being smarter. So you have to keep them down. You have to keep other people down. You can't let anybody rise up because you have to keep that self-esteem. You have to keep your self-esteem high. And no, you can't do it that way because I said so. I don't care. You can't do it that way. You're just dumb. But then you have those professors that are like wanting to nurture you into doing it better, but yet not just like, oh, well, you're stupid. You don't know, blah, 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 blah. They're like, I talked to one about the brain stuff and what I was doing with the medulla study and stuff. And she goes, and this was Wash U, and she goes, yeah, I would look at it as with other animals. I would look at it as other vertebrates if you're right. You should find it in other vertebrates. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I did. I already did it. That's exactly it. That's why the flying squirrel is in my talks. Because we can see that the medulla on a flying squirrel is bigger than the gray squirrel. Because it stretches its skin. So the tactile nature of it increased. So yes, I did know what the hell I was talking about and doing. So every time I gotta listen to some dumbass who wants to gatekeep and just like push me down, or just like wants to just like, oh, I don't care. Now I will admit something Dave Livingston said, which I love you, Dave, if you're watching this. He's a great guy. People don't know how to, contribute to my talk. He goes, the way I talk to them, they don't know how to contribute to it. And that's my fault, maybe. Maybe that's my bad. And maybe I really do need to get better. Yeah, I see you too. I like you too. You're a good girl. Yes, you're a good girl. We're not trying to hurt you. I see how I'm barely handling her, but when she tries to run away, we get her back. She's watching me. She knows I'm not actually watching her, which is good. Like, this is good. This is her knowing that I'm not staring at her. Do you know how many people would like go, well, this doesn't mean anything. This means everything to them. This means everything to them. Everything, you stupid fucks. This means everything to them. I am sick and tired of ignorant dumbasses. You're arrogant and arrogant. We're not the ones who are arrogant. I'm not arrogant. You know why I'm not arrogant? Because I was right. And I didn't look down on you. And I didn't use it to try to hold it over your head. I'm better than you because I did this. No, I did it for the love of it. I did it because I enjoy it. So everybody I teach people to do the slow blink. Because it means if I stare at you, why this works, why this means something to them. I'm not staring at you, and so I'm not afraid of you, and I'm not your predator. Which means everything to them. It lowers their stress. It helps them bond with you when they go, we've been doing this for a while. This guy, he's not hurting me. He ain't trying to hurt me. I'm comfortable. We're good. This ain't bad. This is good. We're all right. Which actually does lend itself to, mental stimulation. And so, yeah, this means everything to them. And so when I talk to people and they go, oh, I had to prove it to me. Show me. You can't go home and just slow blink your own animals and see their breathing slow down? That's arrogance. That's what arrogance really is. And I've had a lot of people do that bullshit to me. You have an easy assignment. A quick little, like, oh, well, we'll just do a slow blink and see how it takes. Just a quick slow blink. That's ignorance and arrogance on their part. They're the ignorant, arrogant ones. He goes, when I build studies for people, I want them to be simple, easy, and actually meaningful. This is why I tell them to introduce their, reptiles together. Do it with glass between them. Don't just take people's words for it. Don't just take my word for it. Go do this experiment. It's simple. It's easy. None of your animals are going to get hurt if there's glass between them. And you can see what they're really going to do. How they're really going to interact. But no. Oh, no. You have to prove it to me. Prove it to me. If you don't prove it to me, it didn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you've got studies, if you've, like this, it doesn't matter anything. It doesn't matter. And that's the anti-intellectual movement bullshit. And it's like, yeah, intellectuals need to do better. Because academia, man, there's so many times, like I did a study in college on nonverbal human communication using a role-playing game. Simple as that. It's not complicated. And just like this study, I had to get approval for human trial. It was a role-playing game. These guys are killing animals in the study on the hognose. So yeah. And when Adam Wickens says, they kind of gave him like that, like most people would do nowadays in deals. Yeah. But they also did the other thing. And so, it does show something. I didn't realize how fast it would grow. Like, that excites me. Like, just the fact that evolution can happen in 2 generations is so dramatically cool in my book. But I am sick and tired of the anti-intellectual movement bullshit. I am so sick and tired, because that's what Adam right here in that video was kind of doing, trying to push this anti-intellectualism. Instead of having somebody on that could explain it like I can, because I explain it to kids. It's just the way people don't want to listen because either they can't contribute to the conversation, which is fine. That's something I need to do better at. And thank you, Dave, for that. I always remember those. So I take criticism well. I prefer criticism that's actually, and like, not just, you're stupid or you need to do this, but something like that. Something like that was meaningful. That was important. But so many people's criticism, it's like advice. Advice is not given for the person taking the advice. It's given for the person giving the advice. I feel better about myself because I told you to do this simple thing that makes me feel important. Okay, you didn't actually put any thought into that. Why should we care about that when you legitimately put zero thoughts into it? You put no thought into that. So why should we care? Sorry, the hat kind of thing. So why should we care? We shouldn't. You should stop listening to people. Well, if you don't have a girlfriend, you should just be yourself. Well, who the hell have you been? Why have you been somebody else? Oh, you haven't? Then what the hell is this lady talking about? They're not. It's so ridiculous how many times we don't try to think of the other person. Whereas Dave actually had a legitimate thought that was something that nobody else probably would have thought of. That's actually important. And so we can see, like, with Adam Wickens and just some of the things that he does is anti-intellectual. And I don't think he is and isn't. See, Adam comes across as somebody that would have voted for Trump, but yet isn't MAGA possibly voted. And this anti-intellectual movement has killed kids already in America. American children have died. Well over 100 confirmed cases. Well over 100 confirmed cases have died from anti-intellectual movement bullshit. But yet, this is nothing new. And so, we really need those people like Adam to stop being so anti-intellectual and being like, oh, well, I don't agree with any of this. This is the. But some of his arguments are real. Like I said, yeah, the way they enrich their reptiles is the way a lot of people in rack systems keep now. In the best that they can in a rack, they do something similar. Well, I take my animals out for walks. I do things like that. We do a lot of this stuff. And people need to get over that. They need to take from these studies and build on them. These studies should have questions. You shouldn't have derogatory statements claiming how this was stupid. This was brilliant. This is a great start. This is far from the ending of this. This is an absolutely great start. And we're going to go in deep. I'm going to end up probably writing a book, and I'm a terrible writer. But, I give talks now. If you're out there in the world, I would love to either give a talk over, I have a PowerPoint now, whatever I could do to try to give talks. I just don't have money to go to herp societies. But hopefully I'm going to give one talk at the Hoosiers in November. The symposium, Midwest Symposium in Springfield, Missouri, I'm giving a talk before the main speaker, Jeff Brigler, which is our state herpetologist. I'm looking forward to meeting him again. He was a great guest. And so these are things, like, I always have questions. Ryan McVeigh is an absolutely brilliant man and an absolute treasure, and I have criticisms of him. And I'll tell it to his face. And I'll also tell him I love the man, because that is a treasure of a man. I have criticisms of that. Some of the stuff that we've talked about. And I always explain why. I don't ever just go, well, you're wrong and I don't have any like that. It's like, okay, let's talk this through. Dave Levinson is great at this. This is something Dave Levinson is great at. He comes across as the anti-intellectual, but what he's really doing is trying to understand better in the way he can. And so getting somebody that can talk to you in that manner. My presentation, I down as much as I could, because we don't need it to be super academic. We need people to give them the tools to start learning the brain. And so at the end of the deal, I asked, how could I do better? Nobody really had an answer for me right away. This one gentleman who works at Bass Pro's aquarium, he was like, okay, you gave a talk that was brilliant. It was, you took a complicated subject and made it digestible. That's a huge compliment. That's what I want to build on. And I'm going to eventually give that talk on here, but I want to build on some things first. And I mean, I think I've talked a little bit more than I wanted to. I wanted to kind of go into what Adam says. But I mean, it really does. Like, people like Adam that are on these channels and stuff, they really do come across as anti-intellectuals a lot. Like, I want to, and I don't think he is in that manner. I think, like he said, he doesn't hate Liam. And I mean, yeah. But Liam is a very intelligent person with degrees like that in that type of fields. I don't have degrees in those fields. Because if I had done that, I would have been wasting my money. Because as we can clearly see, I can already do that. Just as good as Liam. And possibly even better. I just don't brag about it all the time. Because half the time he talks, I hear these new things, studies and stuff. Oh, well, like the reptiles, do the ambient temperature to lower your chances of fires and stuff. Like, I've been doing that. Clint's Reptiles finally started talking about how to hold a freaking box turtle. I've been doing that for years. These people, it's like they're catching up to me. But yet, I'm not academic. I'm not the inside. I haven't been doing this for decades, so therefore I don't know what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, you don't know, you haven't proven it to me. The whole prove it to me crowd. Dude, I just gave you a simple thing. Try that. If you don't like that, if you feel it doesn't work, well, let's talk about it. Because I'm freaking surprised every time I do these things. Because it's like just holding this one right and doing these things. Like, this thing's focused on me. My girl, the one I got a rescue from Snake Discovery, does the same thing. And just like stares at me as I talk. I love this. This is crazy. Like, this is very, very interested in like this, but it's not scared of me. This means a lot. And I do this naturally now. Like, this is what I do. This is how I teach kids to do this stuff. And it's just so impressive. It surprises me. I was surprised how fast this brain's actually grew fast, more. So I'm still learning, because there's nobody on Earth. There's like 5 of us who really do research and want to learn more about the brain of reptiles. But yet, everybody kind of wants to believe their brains are just so dramatically different than humans. No, all vertebrate brains, it's like the eyes. They're the reason why the eyes adapted the way they did. And like, everybody has the same kind of eyes. So octopuses actually have kind of very similar eyes to ours. The method of which they take in is about the same. Because evolution doesn't need to come up with 50 different ways to do it. They don't need to. Just like the vertebrate brain doesn't need to have 50 ways to run. This is why I always do comparisons in different fields on these topics. Very fascinating. So I hope you guys stuck with me. I really appreciate this. I hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from. When you want to question academia, question it. Don't just criticize it. Because that's what I do. There's a huge difference between just, I hate you because you said things that I don't agree with, and you're trash, and yeah, you're just pushing an agenda, blah, 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 blah. But have questions. Because Adam did. But yet he's still going to push the way he pushes, and it's going to cater to less academic people. He was the more anti-intellectual crowd, and Adam does his stuff to make money. Like, I'm sure he enjoys it, but at the end of the day, it's to make money. I don't do it for that. I don't do any of this for this. I barely make any money. I go with the Herp Society of St. Louis to do reptile events and stuff. And so we do Read to the Reptiles, we do the Magic House every year, and it's always so cool. And it's always so much fun for me. But I don't usually get to, I have to kind of lower what I'm at to kind of help other people, and they get so excited because I'm excited, and I love it. But when I get to talk about the brains, you could just see the excitement in me. Like, dude, they have empathy. They have empathy. They do. It's not crazy. It's not. But I do like shock value. They have empathy. What the thing is that optic tactum also holds their modeling part of empathy. It is actually in our brain over here, the right side of your brain holds that modeling part of empathy. And so that's very, very fascinating. So when you yawn, I yawn, they have that part of the brain. They need to know when everything else in the forest is running in the woods, they need to feel fear and start running. That's why when people run around a corner, you see that joke like that, yeah. It sounds crazy. They have empathy. But they may not have empathy like we have, because the forebrain is the first hump, the second hump. So making that connection back and forth is really a lot of work, and I don't know if they have that. But they do have imagination, so it's very fascinating. But yet, so they may not have empathy on the level that we have empathy, but they have a version of it. That's not negotiable. That's not a debate. I will not debate you on that topic. If you want to debate me, you can fuck off. If you have questions, where's it at? How is it different? I don't know. But it's fascinating, right? Like, it's just fascinating. That's why I do this. Adam does it for that. Liam does it for his reasons. I'm sure it's better health of the animals. He really cares about them, stuff. Probably very similar to me. He just has a better situation than I do for this, because I've been so busy. I've been working overtime. I lost my job, the previous job. I was out of work for 3.5 months, and I can't go back to just doing this for nothing when I need more time for other things, because I got a Tagu, and I walk the Tagu. He takes hours to walk. He wants to walk for days. Man, he loves to walk. I don't have to work with him to get him in the crate all the time. He just kind of goes in there like, hey, yeah, as if he knows we're going to go out. It's a wonderful thing. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I do. I just want you guys to know, to understand, if you want to fix the world, you got to change your behavior. You got to quit with the anti-intellectualism. And the intellectuals have to quit being such pieces of shit. We have to quit because I had an intellectual bully in college. That guy would ask questions, and the teacher would go, it's too advanced for this class. At the end of the class, I would walk up to the professor after everybody else left, including that piece of shit, the guy that tried to bully me. And I went up to him, and I would answer the question, and he would go, yeah, I don't give a shit what that bully thinks. I don't care. His life is shit. You gotta remember, these people that do that, their lives are usually shitty, because they're so engrossed in their own self-esteem, being the smartest in the room. It doesn't lead to other people being happy in their relationships. It's one reason why I'm very cautious about what relationships I get into, because I know I can do that. I can lead to a happy relationship, because I don't build my self-esteem. I build my self-esteem on learning and teaching. Things that are, because that's how you want to be happy. If you want to be happy, self-sustainable self-importance. Sustainable self-importance. Being the smartest person in the room is not sustainable. Learning and teaching is sustainable. And I will always be learning. I love learning. I don't know how they do it all the way. I don't know where it's at in the optic tactum. I have guesses. We have guesses, but we don't fully understand, because we can't MRI them the way we can MRI other things. It's so fascinating, and this is what we need more of. And so, thank you, Mickey, for the dragon. Thank you, Loki, the manager at the Show Me shop in St. Peter's. Wonderful person. I got absolutely joy. got caught up in a rainstorm on a lake, on a creek bed with him. Fantastic person. Just thank you so much for the water dragon. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys sticking around. Hopefully we can understand. Leave in the comments what you think we could do better as anti-intellectuals and what we can do better. Don't just bitch. But what is your thoughts on how academia could do better? What's your thoughts on how we can contribute to more of the conversation on anti-intellectualism? How can we combine the two to make it to where they are the absolute fringes now? The anti-intellectuals move to the fringe, and the gatekeeping asshole academics are also to the fringes. I would love to hear that. That is a really great question. So, from my water dragon to you guys, like, subscribe, share. I really do want to hear that, because that's how I'm a genius. I'm a genius because I'm willing to ask questions of other people who might know a certain topic more than me. That's how I figure out things I figure out. I don't just ask, I don't just say, oh, I know it because I know it. No, it's like, no, I look things up, I think about them, I spend weeks and months. Really do this correctly. So thank you guys. Love you. Catch you later.